In this lesson, we're going to talk about the powers of 10. I want you to start by writing down this number. This small number, the 1, is called an exponent, or it's also referred to as a power. 10 is called my base. So the way to say this number would be 10 to the power of 1, and that would be equal to 10. So we said 10 to the power of 1 is equal to 10. So let's look at our second example. This is referred to as 10 to the power of 2, or you may hear it also called 10 squared. So in order to solve 10 to the power of 2, or 10 squared, I start by looking at the base number. The base number is 10. This is the number that I'm going to be writing. I also want to look at my exponent, 2. This tells me how many times I'm going to write the base. So I'm going to be writing the number 10, and the exponent tells me to write 2 tens. And in order to solve this, I put a multiplication sign between them. 10 times 10 is equal to 100. And a little pattern that you may notice is when we were talking about 10 to the first power, there is 1 0, just like there is 1 as my exponent. When I solved 10 to the second power, or 10 squared, my answer had 2 zeros. And notice that my exponent is the number 2. 10 to the third power, or 10 to the power of 3, also has another name. It can be called 10 cubed. And once again, I'm going to look at my base number first. The base number is 10. So 10 is the number that I'm going to write. The exponent is 3, and it tells me how many times to write it. So the number I'm writing is 10, and I need to write it 3 times. And then the multiplication sign goes in between the tens. I know that 10 times 10 is 100, and 100 times 10 is equal to 1,000. And if you'll notice, there are 3 zeros, and my exponent is 3. So if we look at our pattern here, I know 10 squared, or 10 to the second power, is equal to 100. 10 cubed, or 10 to the third power, is equal to 1,000. And knowing the trick I mentioned about the zeros, I can guess that my pattern means that 10 to the fourth power will have 4 zeros, which means that I would write 10 4 times to multiply it out. And so 10 to the fourth power equals 10,000. And it does not have a nickname like 2 and 3 did. These are the only exponents that are referred to as squared or cubed. Now, one extra piece of information is if we go and look at 10 to the 0 power. Notice that in all of the other examples, I took 10 and I multiplied it by 10 as I moved up a power. And then I took 100 and multiplied it by 10 to move up to the third power. And so on and so forth. So if I were to try and go backwards, the opposite of multiplication is division. So this would be like taking the answer I have here, 10, and dividing it by 10. And I know that 10 divided by 10 is equal to 1. And it kind of makes sense if you look at it, that each time here we gained a 0. And when I went backwards, I lost a 0.